Hello. I was shuffling the 22 Archangels Oracle by Kyle Gray, and the card that fell out was Azrael, Transcendence. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. Yep, own your story. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. Yeah, made me think about accepting our shadow and light aspects. Okay, let's read from the guidebook. Azrael's name means helped by God. He is the archangel who guides us through the process of transition. That was noteworthy to me, so I wrote that down. You're likely in a period of transition between the past and the future, the liminal space. His energy is like that of the phoenix, and he helps us rise from the ashes of our challenges to be reborn and renewed. Azrael can also help lead souls of the departed to heaven, and for that reason is known to have a powerful connection with anyone who has the gift of mediumship. Potentially, that is one of your gifts. He can be called upon by anyone who needs support in moving gracefully through times of change. Times of change, okay, that relates to transition. Times of change. Okay, your message. You are going through some changes right now, and you may not be enjoying them, but please be assured that you are being led to your highest good. A reminder of this phrase on the card: you wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Change is a natural process, and we are constantly moving through different levels of development and experience so we can grow. You may be faced with fear and uncertainty, not knowing what the next stage is, but there are plenty of doors opening and opportunities being presented to you. I'm going to read that again. You may be faced with fear and uncertainty, not knowing what the next stage is, but there are plenty of doors opening and opportunities being presented to you. Trust in yourself and your higher power. In order for you to come into alignment with this stage of your journey, it's important to take some time to reflect upon the challenges you have surmounted. Okay, self-reflection makes me think of the Hermit card in the Tarot. Not everything on your journey has been favorable, but you wouldn't be who you are today without the lessons you have learned. Realize that you have an incredible resilience that helps you tap into the infinite potential you hold within. I'm going to repeat that. Realize that you have an incredible resilience that helps you tap into the infinite potential you hold within. It's already within you. And that makes me think of the Magician card in the Tarot. He has all the tools that he needs, all the resources that he needs within his disposal already. Okay, so what stood out to me was indeed, okay, own your story. So accepting, I mentioned this already, accepting your shadow and light aspects, all the aspects of our lives, of ourselves. Knowing that they are part of our evolution, our development. And the guidebook does acknowledge a lot of those lessons are not fun at all. They do not feel good. They don't feel favorable. They don't feel like in the moment, like they are happening for us, right? For our growth. It sucks. Capital S-U-C-K-S, right? More than that at times. All right, what else? Transition, yes. So you may be in a liminal point right now of your journey. And I wrote down old narrative, the past version of yourself. Transitioning to your new narrative, new story, a new chapter. And the guidebook mentions the phoenix rising, right? Very symbolic. Symbolism of being reborn and renewed. And that is what is happening for you right now, most likely. So let's just read quickly the spiritual significance of the phoenix. 1. Hope and renewal. It represents the ability to rise from challenges and start anew. Start anew, reborn, renewed. 2. Transformation and rebirth. The phoenix embodies the process of change and the potential for personal growth. And infinite potential, I believe, was mentioned in the guidebook here. 3. Immortality and resurrection. It signifies eternal life and the cyclical nature of existence. Indeed, we are all eternal souls, having a temporary human experience. 4, resilience. The phoenix encourages individuals to overcome adversity and embrace new beginnings. Finally, cultural significance. It is recognized across various cultures, including Egyptian, Native American, and Greek, each attributing unique meanings to its symbolism. These attributes make the phoenix a powerful symbol of spiritual strength and renewal. Okay. And it also makes me think of alchemy, the phoenix rising from the ashes, the process of alchemy. Turning, quote, lead into gold. Turning adversity into spiritual wisdom and strength. Okay, there was a really good article about the spiritual meaning of the phoenix. It's titled, did I mention the website? wisdomofthespirit.com. The title of the article is called 11 Spiritual Meanings of a Phoenix, Rising from the Ashes of Your Old Self. It's quite good, but this website tends to keep reloading. I'm not sure why that happens, so while I'm reading it, it returns, it reloads or refreshes without my doing anything and returns to the top of the page. So I wanted to read to you all 11 points, but if it keeps reloading, I'm not sure. I'll want to do that. Okay, and alchemy excuse me, alchemy is mentioned here. Okay, I'll read one of the points. Point number 5, triumph over adversity, which was already mentioned in the symbolism I just read to you. Okay, triumph over adversity. The phoenix doesn't avoid its fate. It faces the fire and emerges victorious. Makes me think of the Six of Wands card in the Tarot. This narrative is a powerful allegory for overcoming immense challenges. Spiritually, it represents the soul's victory over suffering, limitation, and circumstance. The bird's rise is a triumphant ascension, showing that our struggles can become the very source of our strength and beauty. It calls on us to not see ourselves as victims of our trials, but as alchemists who can transform leaden experiences into golden wisdom. I'm going to repeat that closing clause. Alchemists who can transform leaden experiences into golden wisdom. And that is what you are, an alchemist. With the spiritual strength to transform, quote, leaden experiences into golden wisdom, into golden nuggets of spiritual wisdom. Now that makes me think of the Hierophant also in the Tarot. Okay, but let's move on. Okay. As an aside, before I clicked record, I did go on YouTube on my phone, and I scrolled. Well, I didn't have to scroll for very long, because the first song that I saw on my homepage was by a group called Enigma. For the song, Return to Innocence. So I thought I'd read to you the lyrics of the song called Return to Innocence by Enigma. I think they were a group from the 80s or 90s, but I'm not sure. I do remember this song. But yeah, this is not something that I searched out. It just appeared on my homepage. Okay, Return to Innocence by Enigma. Love, devotion, feeling, emotion. Don't be afraid to be weak. Don't be too proud to be strong. Just look into your heart, my friend. That will be the return to yourself, the return to innocence. And if you want, then start to laugh. If you must, then start to cry. Be yourself. Don't hide. Just believe in destiny. Don't care what people say. Just follow your own way. Don't give up, and use the chance to return to innocence. That's not the beginning of the end. That's the return to yourself, the return to innocence. I thought that the message tied in very nicely with the process of purification, being reborn, being renewed, the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Alchemy, being purified, turning adversity into something beautiful through a more enlightened perspective. Going through all those challenges, but still returning to your true self, your true essence, your pure, innocent heart and soul. What else stood out to me here? Okay, so let's just go through the first stanza. Don't be afraid to be weak. That makes me think of vulnerability. Having the courage to be vulnerable, to be authentic, essentially, right? To be yourself. All your scars, scars and all, scars, flaws and all. Don't be too proud to be strong. Just look into your heart. That will be the return to yourself. That's your true self. Behind the facade that you've now learned to remove. You're being more authentic, more honest. You have returned to your true self. You have returned to your heart. To live your life led by your heart. What else stands out to me? And if you want, then start to laugh. If you must, then start to cry. Then start to cry, yes. If you must, then start to cry. It is okay to cry, to show, express all of your emotions. That is authentic, being honest. And when we're in pain, that is communication from our body. The pain wants to be expressed, wants to be acknowledged. Be yourself, don't hide. That's right. You were meant to be seen. But first, you needed to see yourself, your true self. What else? Don't care what people say. That's a lesson for a lot of us, right? Coming to know that the most important opinion is our own. What you feel about yourself. That's part of how you'll navigate this world. And when we have a strong foundation of self-worth and love, we will conduct ourselves and our path in a more empowered way. Okay, so someone is vacuuming outside. Okay, what else? Let's continue. We're gonna continue. Oh, just follow your own way. Wonderful advice. You're forging your own path. And here's encouragement for you. Don't give up. Keep going. That's not the beginning of the end. That's the return to yourself. Yes, your true self. That makes me think of the dark night of the soul, the quote, ego death. The ego does not go away, but it, through the alchemical process, as we become, well, it's more like shedding all those limiting beliefs, shedding all the layers, the facade, to reveal our true selves, right? Okay, I lost my train of thought. I'm going to just keep going, move on. Okay, whew. Now it's getting warm. This may happen to you as well. Maybe you're sensitive to temperatures, and sometimes well, for example, it's winter right now where I'm filming, and I get cold very easily. But I can also fluctuate and get hot easily as well. So sensitivity to the temperatures. All right, it's a bit more quiet outside. Okay, where shall we go? Let's just bottom of the deck. Two of Wands, big dreams, planning, visualization. Going to read that phrase again by Azrael, Transcendence. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. Okay. Anything to add? There we go. Okay, so we did make note of the possibility that you're in a liminal space, going through a transition, as mentioned in the guidebook. And the phrase times of change came up, so this is quite representative of where you are on your journey right now. We have the Fool. Beginnings, leap of faith, innocence, trust. 0 points. Going through a transitional period on your journey. transcendence, that word transcendence. Rising above, rising from the ashes, seeing your life, your past, all those experiences from a higher perspective, an enlightened perspective. And you've transcended, yes, the narrative of limitation, how we've been conditioned by society that there was just a limit to what's possible. But you've transformed and transcended that type of limited thinking. There is no ceiling. Nine of Swords, worry, overthinking, self-doubt. Okay, so I'm noticing that I'm feeling more easily frazzled. Like hearing that vacuum outside. Ordinarily, well, I don't know if that's true because I'm filming right now, and that's why I just felt more distracted. I seem to be more hyper-aware, hypersensitive. A lot of the time, I live in a big city, and there are a lot of distractions. But I'm not always distracted. I don't. It's like, it's just part of the atmosphere. But today, in this moment, I'm feeling a little bit frazzled. So, you may be feeling extra sensitive at this time. Okay. More messages confirming this transitional time. The Hanged Man. Patience, perspective. We mentioned perspective. Gaining a higher enlightened perspective. And surrender. The King of Pentacles. Steadfast, wealthy, stable, reliable. Pentacles makes me think of stability, having a firm foundation. I think I started talking about this and I lost my train of thought. Having a firm foundation from within. Being able to navigate our lives better when we have a strong sense of self-worth. Wow, okay. The High Priestess. Intuition, divine feminine, mysteries. You're highly intuitive. In this transitional period, you're likely nurturing your feminine energy, not taking too much action. Not pushing yourself. But seeing the Fool card, the Fool also represents, well, innocence. Oh, that just makes me think of the Enigma song. What was it called? Wow, I'm really frazzled today, aren't I? The Return to Innocence. Return to Innocence by Enigma. Innocence! Oh, okay. I like that synchronicity. But yes, the Fool also, one of the meanings is inner child. So you may be nurturing your inner child at this time, getting creative, having fun. And mysteries in regards to the High Priestess, yes. This path is uncertain. There's a lot that has not been revealed to you. And yeah, we don't have a map on this path, on this journey. Spirit reveals little by little. And mainly we just rely on our intuition. I think I mentioned the Hierophant. Yep, my goodness. We already saw the High Priestess. Now we have the Hierophant. So this makes me think, look, counterparts. Divine counterparts, the Hierophant. Okay, spiritual teacher, advice, tradition. Wow. Yes. So this makes me think, this part about owning your story. Everything, all that's happened to you, for you, through you, learning the lessons, having gained the wisdom, you'll be able to share your story. And not all, just the lighthearted incidents. We like to read stories, hear stories, especially the stories with the theme of the hero's journey, redemption stories, right? Because we all, as humans, traverse our journeys encountering a multitude of challenges and obstacles, and we build up our character, right? And that colors the stories of our lives, those challenges. I think there's very few people who just wants to hear all the things that went right. Because that's not authentic, first of all, because as human beings, we go through the gamut of experiences. Experience the spectrum of vibrations from lower to higher, right? And everything in between. Lots of confirmation on being at a transition point. And one of the phrases I wrote down, times of change. Okay, we have Two of Swords. Indecision, uncertainty, doubt. I think we already saw the word doubt in the Nine of Swords, self-doubt, doubt. Lots of Swords energy, right? This is very relatable to all humans, how we get caught by limiting thoughts, draining thoughts, draining us of our life force energy. More swords energy. Seven of Swords. Hidden agenda, strategy, discernment. Yeah, what stands out to me is just discernment. Hidden agenda, that just makes me think of mystery. The word mysteries is in the High Priestess card. The unknown. So yes, there is definitely an energy of uncertainty at this time. But discernment, it makes me think of spiritual discernment. Knowing what is limiting, false, illusory thoughts. So thoughts from the ego versus thoughts from your heart and soul, your intuition. Okay, we have the Two of Cups, positive partnerships, kindred spirits. So this could be speaking to, right, the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Now we have the King of Pentacles. Okay, we have counterparts. Okay, you... King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, Hierophant. Okay, there is a divine union on this new journey of yours. This is part of your story. This is part of your remarkable life story. Your life story with all its ups and downs, light and shadow. This adventurous life story of yours. And on this new journey, this new chapter of yours, this new cycle, let's just say, will be a divine union. With a kindred spirit, let's just say soul mate. And you will create, by joining together, you will start yet again another new chapter. Write a story together. You have the Ten of Cups. Dreams come true, happily ever after. The song, When Two Become One. I hear that in my head now. I'm hearing that in my head. When two become one. Okay, I think that is a good way to end the reading. Look at this, from the Fool. New journey, new story, or new chapter. From the Fool to happily ever after. All right. Have a wonderful journey. Take care.